The creepy and kooky family is back at it again in an all-new adventure. The Addams Family 2 is now officially scheduled to premiere in October of 2021, and I couldn't be more excited. The original film was a surprising box office hit, and it seems like the second film will fare just as well. So here's everything we know about the Addams Family 2. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. The first Addams Family animated film took fans by storm when it premiered in 2019. The show was a smash hit and managed to bring in over $200 million, even though it only had a budget of about $24 million. This was enough for the studio to greenlight a sequel, and it seems like most of the original cast will be returning for an all-new adventure. A new trailer was released that confirmed the movie will be released around Halloween of 2021. We got our first look at the MGM-produced movie in the form of several teasers and a trailer, but we still don't know what the plot of the film will be. The trailer was only about a minute long and involved our favorite characters doing their usual thing, getting blown up by dynamite and walking around in their underwear. In other words, this film should be just as good as the original, even if we don't know anything about the plot. A few posters we also released. One of them shows the whole family getting back together with the tagline, "Back on the Big Screen, Halloween 2021." The other poster is simply a photo of Wednesday Addams with the tagline, "A sequel, how original." We also learned that while most of the original cast will be coming back for the sequel, some of the cast members will not. It was announced that Bill Hader had joined the crew to voice a brand new character named Cyrus. We don't know anything about Cyrus, and he wasn't in any of the original comics or any of the television adaptations. It seems like MGM will be introducing one of the first new characters in a very long time, bringing a breath of fresh air to the lineup of classic characters.
3, 2, 1.
Javon Walton will also be on board in the new film. You may recognize Javon from popular shows like Amazon's Utopia or HBO's Euphoria. If you didn't know already, Finn Wolfhard, everyone's favorite actor from Stranger Things, will not be reprising his role as Pugsley Addams in the new film. Instead, Javon will be taking his place. We don't know why Finn decided to leave the film, but there are a few theories floating around. One of the stranger theories is that Finn's voice has changed too much now that he's growing older. So they had to replace him with a younger actor so that Pugsley's voice would still sound a bit childish. Though the other more realistic theory is that Finn has been super successful lately and has popped up on loads of new shows and movies. He's making quite a name for himself. Because of that, it probably cost a heck of a lot more to get him on board, so he may have simply been too expensive to cast in the movie. We may never know why he decided to step away from the series, but I'm sure Javon is going to do an amazing job. According to IMDb, the film will be directed by both Tiernan and Conrad Vernon. Both of these guys worked on the original film, and Conrad was one of the story writers as well. Though it seems like the production crew is taking things in a different direction this time around. Rather than bring back the original writers, they have hired Dan Hernandez and Benji Samit to bring the characters to life this time around. Dan has worked on projects like Pokemon, Detective Pikachu, The Tick, One Day at a Time, and 1600 Pen. Benji Samit has worked on all these projects as well, and it seems like these two get along very well together. In fact, they both share an IMDb profile image of the two hanging out outside of their office building. These guys seem to be best friends and have written some amazing stories over the years, so I'm sure they're going to do a great job with the Addams Family too. Director Tiernan spoke to Entertainment Weekly in 2020 about the upcoming film and said, "The success of last year's animated film was proof of the enduring legacy of the Addams Family and its ability to transcend popular culture. The second film will be every bit as fun as the original. We're thrilled to welcome Bill Hader and Javon Walton and to welcome back our incredible original cast for this exciting next chapter in the Addams journey." Like we mentioned a moment ago, we don't know much about the plot of the movie either, but the official description of the film reads, "The Addams get tangled up in wacky adventures and find themselves involved in hilarious run-ins with all sorts of unsuspecting characters. Always staying true to themselves, the Addams Family brings their iconic spookiness and kookiness wherever they go." So what does this mean for our favorite characters? Who knows? For now, we'll have to wait and see. I have a lot of faith that this movie will be every bit as incredible as the original, maybe even better. The Addams Family first appeared in comic form more than 80 years ago. The comics would pop up in newspapers around the country and would catch readers off guard with their strange approach to modern living. The family wasn't designed to be a stark contrast from the average American family, but the writers took some bold moves when they began to implement some pretty progressive plots along the way. As an example, Gomez, the father, always saw Morticia, the family's mother, as his equal. Considering these comics were first released in the 1930s, women were still seriously oppressed at the time. To see such a bold statement being portrayed in comics across the country was pretty shocking to most people, and it's likely why the stories continue to remain hilarious and relevant all these years later. Since the comic series was released, there have been countless adaptations of the Addams Family. The original Addams Family television series first premiered in 1964 and ran for more than 2 years. Reruns would be played all the time until the series came back in 1973 for a reboot. The new series didn't last very long until it was rebooted once again in 1992, running through 1993. Finally, an original take on the series, known as The New Addams Family, popped up in 1998, but it too would only last 2 years before being cancelled in 1999. There have been several film adaptations as well, with the first major hit coming out in 1991 with the release of The Addams Family. This film would star Angelica Houston and was a major success. This led to a follow-up film called The Addams Family Values a couple of years later in 1993. Addams Family Reunion would be released in 1998, but it didn't do well in the box office, and to be honest, most people don't know the film even existed. That brings us to today. After the first animated version of The Addams Family was released in 2019, the world has been dying to hear more from their favorite kooky film. As it stands, the film is scheduled to be released on October 8, 2021. But who knows if this will actually happen? There have been so many delays in Hollywood over these last few months that it wouldn't be too surprising if the show needs to be pushed off until next year. Though, by all means, the studio is doing everything they can to have the movie ready for release by October of this year, just in time for Halloween. Let us know what you're most looking forward to about the new movie. Since we don't know too much about the plot of the film, it is pretty difficult to make assumptions about what the film will be about. But let us know your theories in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.